Good evening to the. Oh, I forgot the number actually. The how manyest episode are we currently doing? Is it 13 already? It may be. So let's say this is number 13, the 13th episode of the Utopian Open Source Radio, coming to you live directly through your speakers on MSP Waves here in the Discord, or you can listen and even watch. Yeah, I got a webcam running. You can even watch over D-Live, maybe. Globo, D-Live? Is it live on D-Live or is it just live on Twitch? I don't know yet, but Globo will for sure tell us the link where you can even see. Ah, you see, there is the D-Live. There is a D-Live link. So if you want to see me talking directly to you, well, I'm today. It's a bad hair day. It's not only bad hair day; it's bad day today. So this is a more general approach to being bad. So my day has been super bad, and I expect that something explodes soon. So if you just don't hear me any longer and Ilana is taking over, then you know something went wrong.
Dear me, now I'm scared. Now I'm already scared. We start this
Hey Ilana.
show with me being scared of something exploding over on your side. What happened? What's so terrible?
No, it's not super terrible. It's just, there are days and the other days. And today is not one of
Oh,
the...
one of those
Yeah,
days. One of those days. Oh, my condolences.
yeah,
I'm here. I'm here with you. Don't worry.
that's very good.
I'll help. I'm
If
here.
you see me now on Twitch or D-Live, today it's Irish Beer Day, which is not necessarily bad. So I'm not used to drink only Irish beer when I got a bad day, but maybe it helps. So I try Kilkenny today, which is not known on the island because this is only for import in Germany, or at least for importing issues. On the island, this is called Smithix. It's funny, but true. So I tried to get an Kilkenny in Ireland, and simply was, they laughed at me in the end. Yeah, but it's Smithix, so I'm drinking today Irish beer. Only a small one because I learned that don't drink and drive, kids. So Flugschwein, if you're ever going to make your driver's license, then remember, don't drink and drive. Super important. Which can be even extended to don't drink and moderate a radio show. But since I'm a rebel, I do drink. So, Flugschein? Flugschwein. It's not Flugschein. This sounds like, I don't know. No, I'm not low. I'm just, I'm looking up. Let's put it like this. There's a lot of room up, so I can easily put my head up and look into the sky. So, it can only get better now. Okay, so today's show. What is today's show bringing to you? For sure, we got Ilana. You already heard Ilana introducing herself a bit and saying that she's helping me, which is most appreciated. And we got Krim, who already raises the fingers of victory because she will again, most likely, if she's going to join the raffles, she's going to win them. We try to find these moments or these spots in the show when Krim is not really attending, so she's there but not really attending and reading to raffle, when Krim is a bit, I don't know, distracted by something, and then we try to raffle in exactly that spot so that all others have a chance too. Raffle. Talking about raffles, we got two amazing prizes today. Ilana, do you remember? I don't. It was something about Doctor Who.
One of them is a collection of Doctor Who and Tortured audiobooks. And honestly, I don't know how that found its way into our raffle sheet because I don't know if there's anyone here that is a Doctor Who fan.
Well, you. I can
Yeah,
tell.
exactly. I'm the only one. I'm a hardcore Whovian, but like I don't know if there's anybody
Hmm.
else out here who is. So it'd be
What
kind of weird to raffle it off because I'm just gonna come up and tell them, okay, so you won this. How much do I need to pay you
can we
for
go
it?
one step back? So what are you, a Whovian?
A
How's that?
Whovian,
How's
a
that?
fan
How
of Doctor Who.
is this written like this? Whovian.
Whovian.
Okay, didn't know that something like this even exists. And yes, Doctor Who is
It
very
is. It
popular.
does.
You're
If
totally right.
Eliar's here, he can tell you how bouncy I got when we visited the Forbidden Planet store in London. He was
Bouncy.
there with me. Bouncy. I was just like literally jumping around because I wanted everything. I wanted one of everything. I got like 4 Doctor Who t-shirts and like a little
Really?
TARDIS
Hmm.
with mints in it. Yeah, he just like stood there and watched me like I'm never going shopping with that woman because I was completely hyper. It was like a day after I arrived, and all I wanted was like I wanted to be there later that day because there was a signing by a couple of Doctor Who authors that were supposed to be doing a signing in that store later that day. But I just got so tired, I slept through it and then woke up and it was a Friday, so there was a meeting, so I kind of missed it. But still, I'm a hardcore Whovian. I'm a
Okay,
huge fan of Doctor Who.
hardcore Whovian. I need to remember myself that something like this even exists. I was in Cardiff once, and it was, I don't know, a few years ago.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, but I went there to this Doctor Who exposure that back in the day was still open. Now it's closed because I was in Cardiff last year, I think, and it was closed. And I didn't go in there because it was like everything in England or in Wales in this case. It was tremendously expensive. And since I'm not a Whovian, I didn't go in there. So maybe I shouldn't now tell that because for sure
So
this
jealous.
for sure this
So many
this
kinds of
dips
jealous.
myself now in your sympathy level. Um, hmm. But it's in Cardiff Bay, or it was in Cardiff Bay, and it was extremely expensive. So I didn't go there. Um, well, apart from raffling, we have two very, very interesting guests with two very interesting and intriguing projects. One is Steam App, which is a new way or what means a new way, a convenient way to interact with a mobile device on the Steam blockchain, or to act on the Steam blockchain. And the other is ActiveFit, a project that has launched, I don't know, 2 months ago or so. And it's also an app, so for a handheld or a mobile phone or cell phone or whatever you want to call it. And in the end, what it does, it tracks your motions, and it tracks the activities that you're doing. And the clever thing is, you get rewarded for those activities. You need to do a posting on the Steam blockchain, and then you get rewarded for these activities with a new token. That is currently not really a token. It's more or less an entry in a database, but it will become a token when the smart media tokens are released. This is something where Meg Farhat, the project lead of this project, and me talked about already yesterday, because today we are going to do one new try, or one new thing. I pre-recorded an interview with Meg Farhat because he's sadly not and never will be available to join us live here in the show. So I thought, okay, let's try and record an interview so that we can directly stream this later on. And this worked out great. So we had a great interview yesterday, which I'm going to replay later on. No live video, but you got your cider, and you got a shirt that matches at least partly your hair color, which is amazing. Since I got
That's an
great
accident. That is an accident. This is actually like a house shirt. It's almost like a pajama shirt. That is a
house
complete
shirt,
accident.
okay, a house shirt, whatever you want to say by that, a pajama. But it's, what funny is, or what is funny, your shirt matches your hair color, while mine, and I got a gray one on, matches mine as well, which is, well, say something about my age, but it's a cool resemblance. We're so close, you know. Um, yeah, so this will happen. We have Urix 2000 already here in the live on air room. He will be on, let's say, in 15 minutes from now. And we got McFarhead then coming with a recorded interview from yesterday in the second half of the show. Something like, I don't know, 1 hour from now, 1 hour, 20 minutes. For sure, we got Ilana with a lot of news that she's going to bring us. And we got the raffles, and we got a lot of other stuff to happen later on during the show. So let's get this thing started for episode 13. And thanks for being around, ABH. This is, you are Esha, no? ABH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, I think it's Esha. Ades Q Crimson Da Vinci. Was it Gianluca? It was Gianluca. No? It was something Italian. Da Vinci is something Italian. And Didik, Diego, Espoem, Flugschwein, Hilo, Katharina Ram, and our audio feed bot. Roy? I don't know. Hey, Marky Mark, you're around as well. Victor Frankenstein and Sept here in the MSP Waves Discord. And sadly, I cannot see what's going on Twitch or on DLive, but be welcomed there as well. We're happy that you're around. Ilana, what's up in the open source world? What's up in the universe that we're talking about? What's happening currently?
Well, I often talk about companies that take their technology open source and release it to the community to develop and to make use of. And it very rarely happens that the opposite occurs. There is a company called Redis that took some of its code and made it proprietary under something called Commons Clause, which restricts the sales of software that uses modules that are essentially open source. And
again, are we talking about closing source now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Much.
That's something new.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna throw it right here next to Diego's pancakes. Yeah. He's now demanding a pancakes bot on Discord as well as the blockchain. So this is it's a database that changed its licensing in a way that currently makes a lot of other products a bit of a problem. Because house-made Redis models like Regisan and Redis ML, they can't be really open source because now part of their license is restricted. So products based on them cannot be resold. So this started a very interesting discussion about what that means and how open source, some kind of company that is developing something that is open source, what happens if they suddenly make it closed source? And
that's a damn good question, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, it depends to what degree. And if they prevent people from reselling products that have their components is one thing. But what if they just say, okay, as of the next version, our software is closed. We are no longer letting others see behind the scenes, and we're no longer allowing anyone to contribute to our project ever. That is something that I think needs to be discussed because that might happen. Like, what if, I don't know, what if Steam becomes closed source tomorrow? Like, what would happen then? What if Linux? No, that couldn't happen. Okay, Linux can go closed source. But what if Node.js was closed source? Or Quasar framework that are a UJS framework that we're working with. What if they suddenly decided to close their source? What would happen? How would the ecosystem react? So this is kind of really something worth discussing. There's another article about it. Yeah, fork it all. It's not that simple. Forking doesn't always help. it's a fairly complex issue, which is why I posted two links if for those interested in going a little bit deeper into
Yeah, I
what
can
that actually.
imagine. I can really imagine that this is not as easy as it sounds.
Hmm. Now, Google releases more open source because it is what they do. Week in, week out, it's either Google or Facebook or one of the other giants releasing some kind of open source. This time, it's a reinforcement learning framework for training AI models. Now, the funny thing is, when I was reading this, I imagined AI models, not as like models, but as like people who like go on catwalks with clothes, like fashion models. So I was just like
How?
thinking of artificial intelligence and fashion models. That's really stupid. But
But
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, Google has an open source reinforcement framework that is based on something called TensorFlow, which is a machine learning library, and it's now available on GitHub as well. So I'm gonna link it to you. Well, Marky Mark mentions that one of the biggest issues with deep learning is the need for so much data. Well, that depends on how much of that Google's willing to take upon itself, because they have all the data. So if they're letting you run some of that on the cloud, then maybe the data's already there. It's not that hard to reach. Um, Another one of these uber techie projects that I don't always completely understand is an open mainframes project, which is an open source framework to simplify development on ZOS and is supported by IBM. Now, I don't know anything about mainframes or why anybody would still need to use them today, but regardless, I think that for people who are more technical than I, this is interesting because it kind of takes you back, doesn't it? Mainframes. Did you ever get around to touching mainframes?
Oh yes, I work in a bank, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So is anything in mainframes ever open source?
Well, no, not well. I don't know. Not really. I think. But yeah, that's quite
So,
interesting, actually.
yep. Another thing is interesting. There's a startup that's doing something with advertising uh, um, based on an open source tool by Netflix. I haven't quite like figured out exactly what they're doing, but this is definitely the direction that I'm interested. It's a continuous delivery platform, which is supposed to make sure that your connection doesn't drop. But I'm pretty sure that the applications are going to be definitely for advertising rather than other content. Let me see. Another interesting thing that went open source this week is VMware um, uploaded Project Concord onto GitHub. And it's interesting because it has roughly 30,000 lines of code in C and C++ that can be used to build blockchain-based software. So it might be worth looking at it because, as we know, quite a few of the people here are indeed blockchain developers. So that's what I have for now.
Thanks a lot, Ilana. Um,
Thank you very much.
just like every time, you mix together a lot of important and informative sources out of the open source world. You can even let yourself unmute it because now, as a second segment of this show, we also talk about a bit the contributions that have been made during the last week. You might know that we are posting from Utopian every week a top of the Utopian. I said always top of the pops because I cannot remember. I think it's called top of utopian.io. And it's for the week.
Top of Utopian.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's for this week until the 29th, which is today. So it's super fresh. It's 13 minutes on the blockchain. And this is the top post. So who's in there, or which the contributions that are in there is something that we as a team from Utopian deem worthy to be called the best contributions for this week. And as you can see, there is a lot of things inside. It's a bug about Beam, or a bug in Beam. It's a tutorial in. It's everything in. I think that there is no visibility post in again, or unfortunately, this is now I'm talking to Ilana as being the head of the visibility or the community manager for the visibility category, and sadly there is not too much traffic, let's say, in this category. Did you have an contribution this week, Ilana?
Yes, I did. There is one contributor who constantly submits contributions, but unfortunately they're just not good enough to be staff picks. He tries. He gets better gradually, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, but
then really
sooner or later.
I'm hard to please. And again, I say this once in a while, and I'm going to remind it again. The visibility category is somewhat different than the other categories on Utopian because it is not a home for technical people. Not at all. It's for advertisers. And marketers and advertisers who are not necessarily technical have a really hard time finding themselves in the crypto world and on Utopian. And so it's really hard to bring professional marketers aboard and retain them. So that's the main reason my category is mostly inactive. But I am going to work on it, and I hope that this week to have some.
And on the other hand side, it's so important because there are so many projects out there. We are doing this now for the 13th time. And in the latest 10 episodes, we always had two guests presenting mostly two incredible projects, just like we're having them today. So it's, already 20, 22, 23 projects that we have been talking about. And they are all amazing and they are all cool and getting value on the blockchain and everything. But on the other hand side, they share a common problem, because for all of them, cool marketing is really a problem. Being it talking about blockchains currently or cryptocurrencies is just simply not sexy. This is one thing where CryptoTime and Stonecoin and so are really now currently having a hassle. Or I don't know, because we have had so many technically cool projects that this marketing aspect should really not be underestimated, I think.
And it's not just one of the main mistakes that I need to write about, that open source project owners make is assume that marketing is only about user acquisition. It isn't. It's also about growing your team of contributors and about getting more people aboard and more developers, and obviously pancakes. Yes, of course. Yes, and it's about getting more people interested in your project that are not necessarily end users. When you talk about frameworks and development tools, the end users are not really end users, they're developers, and the way you need to target them is different. So very often open source projects think that, if you build it, they will come, they will find me on GitHub. That does not happen. That very rarely happens, and there needs to be brand awareness and there needs to be community management in order to keep an open source project growing and developing.
Yeah, exactly. I just always take this opportunity to highlight a bit the value that you bring and that your category could be bringing to a lot of projects. Mostly because I always see that it's not as trafficy as the other categories. Talking about the other categories, we had a bit of a problem. Therefore, Diego was last week on the show explaining a bit the current Steam power issues and delegation issues that we are having. Still, I think, until Friday.
There were some changes in our incoming delegations, which is to be expected. We can't just imagine that we'll always have the same voting power, and the Steam value also fluctuates. But
Definitely.
Despite all that, we have had quite a few contributions. People are still doing what they're doing, regardless of how much of an upvote they get, because they do it for the sake of open source and not for the sake of a potential reward of some kind. And actually, the one staff pick that I am really excited about is let me just scroll up. It's under development. Yeah, it's under development. It's a Steam Wallet app by Roland P. And one of the reasons I'm so excited about it is because I looked at it and I was not happy with the copywriting in it, and I just messaged him and said, "Can I fix this?" And he said, "Sure." And so I just sent the pull request, and I was just so very, oh my god, he let me do that. I did the thing. I
Oh
clicked the
no,
button.
no,
I did a thing.
really on GitHub and everything.
Yes, I did a commit. I committed something. Yes. See, for marketers, for advertisers and marketers, this is
I just made some.
world.
I just made some. Tried to make some very surprised gestures on video. Wow. She made a request and she even did a commit.
Yes.
And it got merged most likely.
I don't think he merged it yet because he's now traveling. He's doing a pre-Steam Fest.
But how can he not merge this? How can he not merge this?
He's busy. He is a busy,
No.
busy
But
man.
it will be merged because it's coming from you. It's got the pinky, the pink touch on it.
The pink touch on the. I'm going to pretend I know what that means, Marky Mark.
Yeah, just pretend.
Actually,
just laugh about it, just like I do. It's all good.
There was an announcement yesterday that is not any less important than the awesome contributions in the staff picks.
Your awesome contributions.
All awesome contributions.
Mm-hmm.
That was mine's in the staff picks. I just I didn't even make a contribution post because it was just a little bit of proofing on 100 lines of text. It would take me longer to write the contribution post.
Yeah, most likely.
Than it took me to actually just proof it. But what Diego mentioned in the chat here and is really worth talking about is our partnership with Steam UA, which is an initiative that is giving an alternative to the Steemit reputation system, which is kind of not very oh my god, there's the commit pull whatever thing.
The thing.
The thingy I did. It's there. So
I'm so proud of you. I'm really so
too.
proud of you.
I'm the girl with the issues. Anyway, no, that's a pull request. Never mind. So Steam UA is an initiative by CPO, our good and old friend on Utopian, and it's an alternative to the Steemit reputation system that works in a much smarter way. Now, since it's an opt-in sort of thing, you need to delegate a certain amount of SP in order to get the upvotes from Steam UA and grow your Steam UA reputation. So
basically, it's following a bit the approach of the PageRank. It's not the same thing, but if you want to just talk basically about it, it's a bit going into that direction. So it's quite cool. It's technically cool.
Yes, and the big awesome bonus for everyone contributing on Utopian is that Steam UA will be upvoting Utopian contributions without the contributors needing to delegate to Steam UA to be upvoted. So that's really cool. Not only do you get the extra potential reward from Steam UA according to the score on your contribution, but you also get to grow your UA reputation, which is pretty cool. We also have this is more specifically for community managers and team members. We're trying to gather as much written content as we can as we prepare the front end. So we've kind of created this writing marathon for this upcoming month for moderators and community managers to create valuable content to talk about their experiences, what they've learned in moderation, offer tips for better contributions in their category, and just generally produce as much content as possible so that we can later use this to build a knowledge base for Utopian version 2. So that was the big announcements yesterday. And another very important announcement yesterday is because of these fluctuations that we discussed in the value of Steam and our incoming delegations, we've also raised the maximal caps across all categories. And if you are if you want to support Utopian and help us grow and help us continue incentivizing open source, you can create your contribution post and set a beneficiary of 5% or more, depending on how generous you are. So we get part of the potential reward if your contribution receives one. So these these posts, the ones that are that do have these beneficiaries set, they get an additional percentage on their upvote that basically makes sure that they get back what they give and also get an extra, because we are really hoping to encourage more users even before we switch to the front end that will have this built in. We're encouraging as many users as we can to use this option to help Utopian grow.
By the way, Steam UA guys are going to be live on air with us at the 12th of September. So Holger, AT, and CPO, I don't know how this is pronounced, by the way. CPO is going to be back in this show on the 12th of September, talking about Steam UA and all the experiences and problems and everything that they are gathering up to the 12th. So if you want to hear them live, tune in on the 12th of September as well. Yeah, so basically what I wanted to say about the top of Utopian, we are still in business. So we didn't stop, and you didn't stop to contribute, we didn't stop to curate and to assess and to help. And in the end, for sure, it was a bit lower. This is due to the things that we already talked about, fluctuating Steam price, and also a bit delegation issues that we had during the last week. But nevertheless, there were a lot of contributions rewarded, and this is the way that we are going onwards with it. By the way, once I see Knowledge is joining, Knowledge is we tried to talk to Knowledge is he's a community manager as well and has his own project, and we already tried to talk to him live on air. And he's getting good internet next week. He said lightning fast Wi-Fi. And we plan for next week to have Knowledge with his project live on air with us. Just as a kind of pre-information what's going to happen next week. But now, talking about next week is not an option. We will talk now with Urix 2000, who has started the project Steam app. And I think they are already on version 2.0. And it is even an Android and an iOS version out there. So both are currently usable. And Urix, if you are listening now, this would be a perfect time to unmute your microphone and say hello to the audience.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Oh, this worked great. So, Urix, how are you doing? Is everything all right?
I'm great. Great, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and we're glad to have you, actually. You've been around on the Steam blockchain since, 2 years already.
Yeah, 2 years I've been coming back, and I registered a long time ago as I was interested in all kind of crypto, just started to find out what is Bitcoin, how to buy it, and I registered, but I didn't post anything. I only came back in 1 year, and then started actively posting my own stories, and photos with kids and
Yeah,
that kind of
you're
stuff,
quite open. So you're quite really telling a bit about yourself. Always as a preparation, I try, if I have the time. Normally I do. I try to dig a bit into the blogs and into the things that my interview partners have made. And you're quite open. You share pictures of yourself, and your wife and your kid. If this is your wife and your kid, I don't know, but it's at least on the
Yeah.
pictures.
I have 2 kids now.
Ah, okay. Understood.
Yeah.
So, Steam app. How did you come to that idea to write an application to access the Steam blockchain?
It was like end of December, I believe, and then I got an idea that there is no app that is pleasant to use like every day to post on Steam. And I really like this network, and I would like to be there more often. Like
Yeah.
so it's like more comfortable to post, to see who is writing, and also like notifications. That's the next part that we're also working on. So you can really be social, because right now, even on desktop version, it's like hard to get notified when somebody writes to you. That kind
Yeah,
of thing.
this was always in and out somehow, at least in some front
Yeah,
ends. There was this possibility once, and
yeah,
then
I
it
noticed.
it went
So,
down again, and then it went up again, and now I think it has been offline since, I don't know, quite a long time. So, how far are you with your application from a development point of view? What is it currently doing? What can you do with Steam app?
there is still a lot that I would like it to have. The features. There's so many ideas, but right now we have one iOS developer and 2 Android developers, and really they're not working as much as I would like them to work on the application, because they have jobs. They have also their
Yeah,
families,
this
and they
bad
cannot
thing
devote.
where you go
Yeah.
to work and earn money with. I know that. Got the same problem.
Yeah, so it's like when they work like 1 hour or 2 hours per day, like max, it's really taking a lot of time, development. At first, they just learned how to code on the blockchain. I mean, like how to interact with the blockchain. But now they know a lot, and there's also lots of changes coming to registration, with a new fork.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have lots of ideas actually. Besides Steam app, we would like to have an easier registration. Like when you can um, not invite people, but like make them join much quicker. Because right now it's either 2 weeks or you pay with crypto. We want to
Yeah,
make
this
it
is one of
so
the.
that
I agree. This is one of the problems, or the biggest problems that currently, out of my small point of view or angle of view, that this blockchain currently has, because it's quite complicated to get in. Either it takes quite long, like you just have said, and I even hear from colleagues of mine and friends that sometimes the mail is not coming at all. Or you have someone who is inviting you or is paying for you with crypto, or you have some deal running. I don't know. So it's
so
still quite an elusive club, or an
yeah,
exclusive
if
club.
you don't know how to use crypto, then you can't register. I mean, now there's only like crypto people, as I think, like that,
Yeah, that's
because,
true.
and I want at least them to able to register with like credit card or PayPal,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. So easy, convenient.
Yeah,
That's
I
currently that's
think
really
that
a problem.
what's happening already and what's going to continue happening with Hard Fork 20 is
yeah,
that services and DApps are going to have their own registration workflows. Currently, Utopian has signup.utopian.io, which is a sign-up module that allows Utopian to use its stake to create new accounts for GitHub users. So if you have an active GitHub account, you don't need to be a crypto expert. All you need to do is use the Utopian sign up module. For, other mortals who are not GitHub users, it's a bit more tricky. And, most of us just wait. I mean, I still onboard people from the Israeli community, and, whoever I open an account for, I usually offer to open accounts,
Mhm.
and I do. But usually they just go like, "No, it's okay, I'll wait. What, 1 week, 2 weeks, no problem. I'll take this time to study the platform. I'll take this time to read and understand what the hell all this crypto
Mhm.
stuff is." Because I didn't know, and I still don't know anything about crypto, and Steam has opened a whole new world to me. So it doesn't necessarily work like that. You don't necessarily have to know about crypto to get started with Steam. Sometimes it works exactly the other way around. You get started as a content writer, you upload some, stories and poems, and next
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
you know,
If you
you're
get
trading cryptocurrency.
yeah, yeah. If you are fast in getting the mail or the account created, yeah, with Hotfork 20, this is going to be a bit more convenient. I hope this is
And
at
also
least
mining,
yeah.
uh, health mining also is coming. I just want to see how all that works, and maybe then develop something that will make it easier for non-crypto people to get on board.
Yeah, perfect. This is most appreciated because I think that mass adoption is currently this is one of the big problems that we are having in regards to mass adoption, and as well the app topic that you have been targeting with Steam App 2.0. So, what can you already do with Steam App? Is it possible to read, write, I don't know, vote, transfer?
Read your followers. There's like your blog. You can see all your posts, how many people upvoted, re-steamed your post. You can see the hot, trending, new. You can write posts, and also we're working right now on comments. This
Okay.
is like the main functionality that will be able, like, make you I don't know how to say, like at least some kind of interaction, like it'll be like Steam it a bit, but later on we want to add new features which will make it much easier to use it and like pleasant to use every day. That's the main goal I had when I was thinking about that idea. Like I want an application that's really cool to use,
Yeah, that's
easy.
fun and easy to
That was
use.
my
Yeah.
dream. But it,
And
but it
what
took a lot
what
of
do you
time.
think? What do you think from your dream point of view and your current status? Where are you from a percentage point of view? How far have you gotten already?
Mm, I have a lot of too many ideas, and also I posted them, some of them or most maybe, on the GitHub, like the new features which are upcoming. I think we're just like 10% done. At first, I want to make it similar to Steemit, so you can do everything that you can do in Steemit, you can do in our app. And then on top of that, build more and more interesting stuff. So that's basically our goal, right now, to make it as Steemit and then try to make it even better, like easier to use.
Yeah, well,
That kind of
it would be perfect because right now what I'm doing is taking the browser on my phone, which is for sure not a good idea to interact with Steam while you are not in at a desktop. And this is not convenient. So anything that brings the convenience back to or this app feeling back to Steemit is for sure appreciated. On the other hand side, wasn't there a Steemit app planned from Steemit Incorporation as well, or am I just dreaming?
Steam app.
Yeah,
You mean for Steemit?
yeah, from
Yeah,
Steam.
long
They
time,
announced
so
a long
much
time
time.
ago, no?
Yeah, so a lot of time ago. I don't know, like maybe since the beginning, or like at least 1 year for sure.
Yeah, and I think they said something
I
about
couldn't wait for that.
no, for sure not. Waiting for something that you can maybe do yourself is for sure making no sense. On the other hand side, I think they announced some wallet as well for last year together with the SMTs when they announced this. But maybe I'm misremembering this. So you just couldn't wait and did it yourself, which is
I mean, if they make it like a really cool application, I will be glad, because my goal was to make like a Steemit to be able to mass adopt, but I couldn't see it without an application, mass adoption.
No, you're totally
now,
right.
This is the main thing that attracts people, like, I don't know, Instagram. Think of it like without an application. When you could go to your computer, upload photos, it wouldn't be so like.
No, it wouldn't be Instagram if you had to do it from a laptop or desktop. Yeah. It has to have that mobile, that handheld spirit, for sure. And I definitely agree. This is one thing that we're currently lacking and paired together with this invitation topic, with this how do I get an account topic. This is for sure one of the blockers that we're currently having into the direction of mass adoption. There for sure need a lot of other things need to happen as well, but this is for sure one of the issues that we're currently facing, all of us. And yeah, if they are bringing out a cool app, a killer app, you know what I mean? For sure, we are all happy, because then in the end what happens is mass adoption starts and Steam price is going to, well, at least it's not going to fall, it's going to be for sure rising, and which will benefit us all in the end. So okay, what's the next steps that you want to do with on your roadmap that you for sure have for this application?
First of all, comments. Then we want to make notifications. Then I want to make a feature actually which Steemit also adopted, the templates, when you can add templates to your posts or comments.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then wait, let me see my roadmap. I already forgot it. So much, when you have a lot of information, it's hard to remember. But when you only have like 3 points, it's easy.
That's true. Yeah, well, I'm just also skipping through the post that I linked, because you're talking about a lot of things in this Steam app 2.0 post, like GIFs, like I don't know, swiping, feed preload, onboarding. So you have already a lot of interesting topics.
I like to read news. At least I cannot comment right now with the app, but it's really nice just reading, stuff on Steemit, and I like to get informed on Steemit. I have a lot of.
It's a good.
But it depends on your the people who you follow.
Definitely.
If you follow people who write interesting stuff, then your feed is like every day you're glad to read at least a couple of articles.
Yeah, definitely. This is it depends on whom you're following, how your feed looks like, which is clear.
Yeah.
But it has to be said once. So if it's informative or not, it depends more or less on you, because you are choosing how your feed is looking like.
I just remembered about the people whom you follow. We wanted to make it easy also for people to, when they just like sign in, to recommend a couple of
good information.
Yeah, people who write good content. Like if you're into photography, you get that and that person. You can, it like shows you their profile and like recommends you to follow them.
Yeah, which totally makes sense, because when you're new on the blockchain, and I think there was a moment when we all have had this feeling of being new and being totally lost at the same time, because I didn't have the problem like Ilana, that I didn't know about cryptocurrency or whatever possibilities I got with Steam and SPD, but I had this problem being now in a social media, and I didn't know anyone, and everyone was just asking me follow for follow or whatever, and I really thought at the beginning that this is quite cool to have such comments under my posts. I only learned
Then you get tired.
yeah, by heart, that this is not real interaction, but this is more or less begging for upvotes or follows. Yeah, so if you could lower this bar or this barrier, this entry barrier into the blockchain, this would for sure make sense. And one possibility is for sure to say, okay, if you're into, I don't know, photography, then you need to follow this and that, and then you can take the things from there.
And also like tags, you know, which you can see everybody that posts on photography, for example, as well. Not like people, but also tags, you know, both.
Yeah, this makes sense, definitely. Yeah, so you're working together with us. I saw when I was browsing to your blog, you said that it's official. Steam app is on utopian-io as an open source project. How did this help you, or how did this work out for you now as being a project owner?
It really motivates us much more, you know, when such cool, you know, I don't know how to call it, website community, you know, utopian community supports you. And I really sometimes find it hard, you know, to motivate the developers, you know, to do something.
Yeah.
Because as I told you, they're like volunteers, you know, and anything like, oh, we got a cool upvote, you know, from Utopian, and like motivate them to work more and more, you know, like that's what I'm trying to do also, as well.
Yeah,
so,
very
yeah,
good.
it really helps. And Elana told a cool feature about like the thing about promotion. Also, you get developers, and that's and also a thing I would like to achieve. You know, when we get a team of developers.
I see she has unmuted herself. So most likely our pink lady and of all free and open source software. Oh, now she's muted herself again. Unmute, mute.
I'm just toying with you. I'm right here.
You're playing with me now.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, to tease you and play with you. But yeah, I think that Steam app is exactly in the position to attract more developers, and through that reach more of the open source community with the word of Steam and the word of Utopian. Because advertising to developers and saying, come develop the best front end for the next social media platform is something that can get a lot more people aboard developing Steam app and developing on Steam other solutions, and hopefully bringing friends as well.
Yeah,
that's what I would really want, you know, like project to grow it by itself, you know, when a lot of cool features get really quickly, you know, really developed quickly and implemented, and people, the whole community can do whatever they feel that needs to come next, you know, like with feature or a lot of new ideas. That's what I really want.
Yeah, this could really give a new, well, not a drive, but a new motivation, a new, force into that project. It's always like that, you know, because most of the times those projects, just like yours, are quite small, and it starts out quite big from a motivational point of view, but then after some time, for sure, also the motivation goes down a bit, and you need to have someone who pushes you, and for sure, and a community like Utopian can do their share of pushing and of motivating and of bringing you forward. Ilana, you unmuted yourself. This always means you want to talk. You're really playing with me now. This is really funny. So I won't look at the status of your microphone any longer. Just talk whenever you feel you need to talk. Yeah. So for sure, a community like Utopian can do that, and people like Diego and like our community managers for development, they are quite supporting and they are quite pushing as well. So yeah, if you ever need to have some motivational things or just need to have a hug, Ilana would say now free hugs, then for sure Utopian is there for this as well, because in the end you're doing this for the community, and we're just part of it. Yeah, so are you really going to try to do this all in the app? Because you said about in the first place you talked about maybe ideas that go even beyond that, or did I misunderstand something?
Yeah, for example, I just opened the GitHub with our roadmap and blend features. For example, image editor, when you can crop, resize, filter your photos before posting. Also, video uploads. That's another thing that we would like to work on, because it's also getting popular, and then with DLive and YouTube, etc.
Yeah, sure. This is just I'm in Danger just released version 0.8, and DLive is working as well. So yeah, it's quite. I see a lot of tubers, DLivers, tubers that are coming more and more, and that are contributing more and more on the blockchain and creating content. So this is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's nice to see them promote Steam in that way as well. When they bring in all their audience, especially like big video bloggers. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah, totally. So for sure, an app has to sooner or later have to, or it would be very, very, very convenient if an app would have this functionality to upload a video directly to DLive, let's say, or to DTube.
Yeah.
Are you also the brackets and the witness behind your name do indicate that you also are running a witness server, or am I misinterpreting something?
Yeah. I am running a server, and I also like this part of Teammate. It's so cool, to be a part of the witness, when you see that you receive the blocks, and you also can check that when you open the block, you can see like who mined it, and it's good to be like part of the history.
Yeah, of the block
in that way as
creators.
well.
Yeah, this is quite a special role that you're having, and we're having some witnesses in the audience as well, with Gianluca for Da Vinci or the Marky Mark, and Hilo is there, so quite a lot of witnesses around. So how is your witness name? Is it the same Urix 2000 or is it okay?
Yeah, Urix 2000 the same.
So
I also like to learn about the servers, how to make them run faster, and also not miss any blocks, like try to get notification if something happens, but mostly I use other people's stuff which they post on GitHub,
Yeah, it's quite complicated. I just had today a discussion with Felix, a German witness, or what means a discussion. He wrote something on the blockchain, and there was some kind of discussion going on about the complications that you sometimes have if your witness node is malfunctioning, and how to get back, because it's obviously all not super tested software. It's you need a hammer sometimes to get things working. This is what I understood. I'm no witness, so I don't know, but obviously it's not all just as plug and play. So if you want to vote for Urix 2000 as a witness, I can only make you think about this. He runs a witness for how long? For how long are you running it?
I think it's like 4 or 5 months.
So you're not new in the business, but quite well, more or less.
Not that
Not that new.
adopted.
Oh yeah, block and play. This is cool, Hilo. You should make some kind of catchphrase out of that, no? Yeah.
You know what?
No.
Just reminded me. Another cool thing that I want. We just started working on, but with another team, is a game. We really want to make a game like fully integrated into Steam blockchain, and it's
Was
gonna
this
be about.
an RPG, a role-playing
Excuse me?
game? I have read.
Yeah.
I'm following quite closely on the gaming sector because I'm an old gamer myself. And I thought there was something with Siberia. No, it was Kybera. But maybe I'm mistaking now.
There were a couple of attempts at gaming initiatives on.
I know, I had one myself.
One was steampunk.
Yeah,
I
this
don't know
was
whatever
mine.
I don't know whatever happened to it because I kind of started showing interest and I realized most of it was in German, so I kind of left. And there was an attempt to do something called Steam Nova, which is a stupid browser game that they decided to try and connect with Steam. I played it for a bit and then stopped. And now there's Steam Monsters, which I think has a lot of potential. And they're also having a hackathon, if I recall correctly. So if you're looking to develop a Steam-based game and looking to, connect with a bunch of other people to do it, then maybe you should look into the Steam Monsters Hackathon, which I think is also in part sponsored by Utopian. So you should probably look into that.
Yeah,
definitely.
This is done by Agrode, the boss of the MSP project. At least he created this server that we are currently on. Just as an additional piece of information.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're really excited about that, and we are also people who are in gaming business. For example, do you know a company called Wargaming?
Oh, okay.
The ones who make tanks, that kind of company. So we are speaking to the project manager who has been developing warships. The one about ships. He's started the project and still working on it, and we just want him in the team and also advise which things are the top notch, and make a game on the blockchain. Also partly to make it more mainstream, So people register inside the game and find out, there's Steam, it's a blockchain and it's also social network, that kind of thing.
Yeah, understood. That's sounding great because gamification is something that I really miss. Even though for sure we're having now Steam Monsters. By the way, this is a card game, and we're having Steampunk, which was a role-playing game, and we're having the Steam Nova, which was a browser game. Still, there is a lot of room for cool games and cool gamification here on the Steam blockchain, I think, because this is getting bigger and bigger. Even in the normal world, we're talking about huge revenues from games and huge invests also taken into games or into the gaming sector. So this gets more and more important, and I think that we are still trailing behind a bit for sure it's not as easy as writing a blog or creating a video. To create a cool game takes time, patience, motivation, ideas, and you got to have really it takes a long run. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Hilo, thanks a lot. We have the magic frog, the Grenoir. I don't try my French now. This is for sure not working. Which is a word game, yeah. So for sure there is still place. I think a lot of place, even with Steam Monsters almost playable right now. There is a lot of place for cool games developed on the blockchain. So happy to, if this is getting more mature, Jurix, I'm would be super happy if you would join again talking about the game. For
I will
now,
send you the trailer.
oh yeah, this would be
as
very cool.
ready.
And you can also post it into the links if you have, if it's already posted somewhere. And no, K Preddy, we did not talk yet about ActiveIt. ActiveIt is coming in, let's say, 15 minutes. And it's going to be a pre-recorded interview with McFarhead that I did yesterday, because it's seriously not possible for McFarhead to come to us live on air, which is super sad, and I'm not happy about it, but this is the best that we can do. So we pre-recorded an interview. Jurix, anything left that you want to tell us? Which so that we do not need to know.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, you know.
I know. No, that was an unfair question. I'm sorry.
When you ask some questions, it's easier, you know, like to.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to say something, you know, without having been questioned.
I see. Also, another thing I wanted to tell about the team, which is like enlightened, you know, to work on the game. There's a person who, his company is actually developing crypto, like block trades, you know, the crypto exchanges, and even like full-fledged solutions here, you know, like for the companies that would like to make an exchange, like Bittrex, for example. So he's like really into the blockchain, and when we are discussing about the game, he says everything has to be like in blockchain, using the JSON right now. He says like it's possible to check like every step of the game, like every battle, you know, there's going to be battles. It's like similar to Steam Monsters a bit, and I really like that, you know, like the more it's integrated in the blockchain, the better, I think.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He said the better the trust, you know, in the game. It's like nobody should have like total control over, you know, like the game. It should be like run completely on the blockchain.
Agreed. So send us a trailer if you already have it.
No, it's not ready yet.
Ah, okay.
I mean, as soon as it's ready, I will know that I can send you.
Okay, perfect. Then as soon as it's ready, please inform us, and we would be delighted to have you back in the show with another game on the Steam blockchain. For now, thanks a lot, Jurix, for your time. It has been a pleasure talking to you. And for all you out there listening to this live now on Discord, D-Live, or on Twitch, or later on to the recorded version. By the way, I forgot to push record for the first half an hour or so. But maybe we can do something about this, because we have some magicians of sound around, like, I don't know, Klobo and Ron, and a lot of people are really thinking much more than me. So yeah, oh no, that's super bad. Oh no, Grim, you're the best. I really, really hope for that someone is coming around the corner and saving my sorry ass. Thanks a lot, Crimson. You are just a lifesaver. So we do have a recording. So if you're listening to the recording, think about going to Jurix's blog to think or to see what he's currently doing on Steam app. Download it if you got iOS or Android, and think about voting him for witness as well if you have one of your 30 witness votes left. For sure, he's trying his best to keep the Steemit blockchain sound and running. Thanks a lot, Jurix2000, and have a nice rest of the evening.
Thank you, you too.
So, Ilana, you back?
I was always here.
Ah, yeah, but you played a bit with me. This was this unmute thingy. and let's see
it
how
started
many.
out as an accident. It started out as an accident. I accidentally unmuted myself, and then you said, you were muted, you want to say something? No, I don't. So I muted myself, and you said, she muted herself. So I started playing around and see what happens.
How many
And,
times does this strange German react when I unmute, mute, unmute, mute, mute, unmute myself?
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
there's the WhatsApp group, a very cool and exclusive WhatsApp group for everyone attending the Utopian and Steam STEM meetup, and it's pretty crazy in there. And one of the things that I wrote today is Ilana Bruno, confusing people. That's me. I confuse people.
Yeah, and I said,
You pointed out that you're the one who usually gets confused by me.
True.
So this is,
and it worked out perfectly today. Again.
This is evidence.
Yeah, it is.
So this is a good time to remind you that we have a raffle to do. And since you were talking about blockchain games, I also came across this post that I linked to.
Oh, Hilo, one second. Hilo, this is very, very cool from you, because Hilo just pointed out that, or posted a link where you can vote Jurix as a witness directly over Steam Connect. Thanks a lot, Hilo.
You can save it for future interviews if you want to recommend somebody else's witness. You just have to change the name. It's pretty comfy.
Groovy. Thank you, Hilo. So now,
as I was saying, there's a game that is currently being worked on that is supposed to be a deep space game survival. Deep space survival game that runs on the Ethereum blockchain. I don't know. I'm pretty scared when people start running games on Ethereum because I'm seeing CryptoKitties all over again, and how this might just raise fuel prices and create a big problem. However, it is interesting. I'm really interested in blockchain gaming because I think that it's the only way to allow for truly unique experiences and for full customization and ownership of items and creation of items. I think it's really cool. But so far nobody has done it well. So I hope these guys will, or our guys will. I hope that the first awesome open source blockchain game will be on Utopian. That's my hope. I don't know if it will be, but I really hope so.
Yeah, that would be really great, no? This would be really a blast having such a game, open source, and everything.
That's kind of why I'm here. That's kind of why I want to be, part of the company that helps grow and release something that is truly awesome and revolutionary that would not have happened without this support. So that's kind of why I'm here. That's kind of what I get up in the morning for.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does, because this is really where we all are currently not as good as I would like it to be. This gaming thing for me is really an attractive factor, and or an attracting factor, and it's not there. It's not where I want it to be currently.
Well, time is, there's still time. It's relative.
True,
technology.
definitely.
It's people are still like the majority of people, when you tell them blockchain, they automatically think cryptocurrency, but it doesn't have to be, and people don't get that. Even though we talk about it all the time, the blockchain isn't necessarily about cryptocurrencies. It's a really powerful technological tool for fascinating applications of all kinds, but people still aren't there. Companies, like you said before, crypto is sometimes a curse word. It is.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
That's how it's perceived sometimes. So if you were to go to, I don't know, say Blizzard right now, and you told them, okay, we want to replace the credit system on Hearthstone with a blockchain, they would step back and say, oh, then there's this
yeah, my goodness, why the fuck should we do this?
Exactly. Oh, by the way, quantum.
Oh no,
did it again.
I did say why the fuck, didn't I?
You did. You hit the quantum It was you again. Notice how I'm trying to. Yeah. So
that's bad.
It is. Anyway, so do you want to do a raffle? Or do you want?
Oh yes, please. Oh, we didn't do the raffle because Bucky is not here. I'm so super confused because I'm always confused when you're around, but I'm even more confused when Bucky is not here to ease the waves. And
Yeah, we need our producer, Bucky. It's like sometimes people say, "Why do you need a producer for?" You got the anchor; they can operate the whatever.
they can
You got
be
the
around.
host, and yeah, but no, we need our producer. He doesn't talk
Definitely.
a lot, but
When
he
he's
does so
talking,
much. So much.
he's doing the important things, just like raffling, for instance. Yeah, and Bucky he's simply a genius in how he's doing things. We are really kind of missing him right now, so this is
A lot.
a sad
A lot.
moment. Nevertheless, we are doing a raffle now. And Ilana, are you going to explain how this raffling works for all the guys and ladies that have not been around listening to us?
Well, only if you run the raffle. We actually have a relatively small audience today, so you have a really, really good chance of winning one of our two awesome prizes. One of which I only one of which I remember because I won it. um, so let's see. There's gonna once the raffle starts running, and I'm gonna let Yedai run the raffle. You will have, I think, about a minute to type in. Let's come up with something interesting. Which game would you most like to see running with Steam? Like, which game would you want to see on the Steam blockchain? And don't say like Doom or I don't know, Pac-Man. Say something interesting. A game that you like that you would want to see running on the Steam blockchain, and you can write it right after Yedai posts the command for our awesome
Oh, I'm going to do it.
bot.
Wait, I'm going to do it. So this is new.
Yes, I left you the hard work. Go for it.
Now I need to completely rely on the preparation that Bucky did for me. It's about our first raffle is going to be about this Humble Book Bundle. Oh, I got the same problems than Bucky. I cannot pronounce it. Humble Book Bundle. Program your own games, which is definitely directly to the spot. That what we're talking.
That is so perfect.
Yeah, it is
exactly.
It is super perfect. The raffle will run 1 minute, and now once I type this in, it should run. Okay, this is not working.
Of course it isn't. Bucky's not here. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. It just run around and shout Bucky, Bucky, Bucky or something like that. Oh no. Even Krim cannot do it, and she's pink or Lila or whatever.
No. How do we kick the
I don't know.
bot to start?
Where is Victor once we need him? Yes, Tem Kioskiem. Yeah, exactly. Says this is the only thing that we can do now. We're running around with our hands above our heads and screaming a bit about Bucky, Bucky, we need help. Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, I guess we're gonna postpone the raffle.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna postpone the raffle until we get some technical support for the two non-technical hosts of the.
I'm super technical. I just don't know where Chesem Gioskiam is hosting this, and I cannot read, and I can do nothing.
Very specific things. This is not a banking system. So.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But I can even start non-banking systems if I know how. So I don't know. Let's just move on from here. Now we're going to have a thing that we never tried before. You should not be too scared. I am a bit because, like I said, we didn't try this before. So I'm trying now to replay the interview that I had with Mac Forehead yesterday. And like you already have seen, today is a strange day. A lot of bad things happen. So don't get, I don't know, if something explodes while I'm replaying this, don't hassle. It's all good. I'm gonna give you an upvote on Steam somewhere. Now, this this does not work like a charm. No. Yeah. I would like you to see my screen now, but you can see my face, which is a big, question mark.
I can't see your face, but I can imagine it, and that's good enough. That just does the trick.
It works not. Wait. We're just going to do that, and then we're going to do that.
Bucky.
Oh yes, I miss Bucky so much. Who has been, I don't know, a long time contributor to Utopian, community manager, moderator, and as you can hear, I have made it. Now I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to be in the MSP Waves audience text chat while I'm replaying this, because this will be super strange hearing me twice when I simply cannot shut my mouth during this replay. So yeah, it's a bit complicated. It's not as complicated as pronouncing Amos's name, but it's a bit complicated. And you did quite well. It was cool.
Thank you.
So, ActiveFit, what can you tell us about that project?
Well, ActiveFit. So yeah, I mean, the idea really started since probably when I joined Steemit, like almost a year ago. I think I'm just getting to my anniversary, maybe in these few days. I forgot the actual date. But,
oh well, we need to look it up, and then we can cheer for you.
Yeah, it's definitely around the end of August, maybe 28, 29, 27. I should recheck that. So since I joined Steemit, I mean, I saw it's a blogging platform, and I personally, I've been someone who likes really healthy stuff, healthy lifestyle, fitness, working out. I mean, I've done this for a long period of time, although recently, I mean, with all the desk work and sitting down and all the technology we have, I've been spending less and less time on getting fit. But when I joined Steemit, I mean, I thought there are some platforms like Body Space and Bodybuilding and all these online platforms that allow you to track all your fitness activity. And then there's Fitbit, there's all these things. And I thought, how can we maybe use Steemit to do that? So, I mean, the idea didn't really elaborate.
Yeah, exactly. So as a starter, as a basic primitive, this is quite a good idea. So what did you do up to then? Or where did you lead that from there?
Well, to be honest, I mean, if someone checks my blogs, like a few months ago, I used to almost daily blog about me working out. I mean, I used to put like those videos that I'm using, not my own videos I'm following on YouTube, like for different trainings, different trainers, what food I prepare every morning. And I used to do that like almost on a daily basis. And that was the way I'm trying to push myself to daily post and to motivate myself to daily train and do some fitness activity. And then I thought, why don't I make this available for everyone under a good shape and under more motivation via rewarding them as tokens? So, SMTs that...
Okay, so you try to go for SMT, but since they are not available, you found some way around that, no?
Exactly. And I mean, I saw some other projects like Apex, they've done quite well. Steamhunt started something amazing with their work. And I thought we can do something similar and really help people to be incentivized for something that affects every person's life. I mean, being healthy, working out, moving is something that you cannot really stress enough. We're just, I mean, like I said earlier, we're just sitting down. We need to move. We need the motivation, and this could be the reason for people to move with tokens.
Yeah, absolutely. So even I did at least work out once or twice with ActiveFit. So what you do is now you have some kind of tracker. Is this correct? And then you you record the people's movements and reward this with the token that you created. I think it's called also ActiveFit. No.
Yes, it's ActiveFit, and for short AFIT.
AFIT. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like you said, I mean, we since day one, and today I think we're just 2 months from the initial launch. We launched on the 26th of June. Now we're 28th of August. So since day one, we had our Android application, which I developed, available for everyone to download and start tracking their activity. And we're actually relying on accelerometers within sensors within your mobile phone that would automatically track your activity and the movements that are occurring and records those. And once you post whatever you had recorded for this particular day, it goes to a Steemit post, and then you will get rewarded depending on the amount of activity you did within this day.
Oh yeah, so this is quite a straightforward idea and an implementation. How far are you yet with since we are a technical show, with the techniques behind it?
How far I am with the?
With the technique, with the real implementation.
Well, I mean, currently the app is functional. It's running. We're rewarding people. It's but we are definitely working on a lot more improvements and features for the app. I mean, daily we get requests for new features. We have lovely ideas from the community. I mean, I'm constantly trying to implement new features for the Android. We have our own API, we have our database, we have our Node.js backend, we have our website, and I've had a lot of great help from few developers also who have been helping out with the activity, like MKT, Crypto Euro, and now.
I always hear the same names.
And I also had with Hitten, a great guy who's helped me with the iOS version, which, by the way, should be out any day now, because we finished the coding. It's complete. It's ready. We're just waiting for Apple to say, hey, okay, we launched your app, and then we can notify the community that they can start downloading it on their iPhones.
Oh, very cool. So you already finished the coding on the iPhone app?
Yes. I mean, the coding for now, we're like you said, I mean, there's always continuous work, tons of features to keep adding, and lots of improvement.
You're no development studio with 10 developers around you just waiting for you to throw ideas at them. Well, I guess not. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you are, but I guess not. So.
Man, I'm trying to manage my time with doing everything I can. I'm trying to manage the finances, the documentation, the white paper, the development, the website, and all these things, and it gets really hectic. But luckily, I mean, I've had few quite helpful people on Discord who are really helpful. At least the moderators on our team on ActiveFit. We have few ambassadors for ActiveFit. We also have, I mean, the delegators are quite amazing. We've had so far around 110,000 SP, which is great for us. I mean, yeah, it's really, really supportive. So I'm humbled and really happy with.
So is there kind of a program that you're having for incentivizing supporters or delegators?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we came up with the program to push out a maximum of 100,000 AFIT ticket tokens per day to delegators. And people who actually delegated before getting to the 100K were actually getting 1-to-1 ratio. So every day, let's say you had delegated 100 SP to ActiveFit. So 100 SP were actually rewarding you 100 AFIT tokens daily.
Oh, okay, on a daily basis, yeah?
Yeah, correct. And now it's a bit less because we have 110. So it's like instead of 1-to-1, it's like 1-to-0.9. So for 100 SP, you get like 90 tokens per day. This is still a great amount. I mean, it just decreases because we have a limited supply of funds on a daily basis to spend to delegators. But yeah,
sure.
daily, every delegator is getting quite a large amount of tokens for their help. And to be honest, I mean, I'm really happy with the delegations because they help us to reward people more. So the delegators are giving us a speed that allows us to upvote people, to reward them both in Steam and also in the aphid tokens that we're giving rewards. And delegators also get like 5% of beneficiary amount we set on every activate token post. Sorry. So they also get rewarded with the 5% beneficiary spread among all the delegators.
Well, that's quite a nice. Well, you never know what's aphid going to be worth like, but it sounds like this is a fair reward for having delegations. So I think that everyone that currently has delegated to you or is currently thinking about delegation surely needs to give this a good look, if maybe it's worth it. So supporting Steamians, using ActiveIt to get or to work out a bit more from their desk jobs or whatever they are currently having. So if you want to support this out there, think about delegations to make forehead. For sure, there is some links that I'm going to post now, and then you can all just click and see. For sure, it's all written somewhere in the official postings from ActiveIt.
They have the links for delegation. You can just pick the amount or enter the custom amount, and you can automatically delegate to the ActiveIt account.
Yeah, perfect. And then this is automatically picked up on your side as well. So if now I would delegate 500 SP, it would be picked up by you, and I would be rewarded with, I don't know, times 0.9 in ActiveIt tokens then.
Correct. On a daily basis, at 8 a.m. UTC, our bot runs and picks up all the delegations and distributes the token rewards. And on a weekly basis, we distribute the beneficiary rewards. Those go in arrears for 1 week because the upvotes, the payouts take 7 days. So this will be 1 week in arrears.
Sure.
Yeah, but
normal Steamit rules. Normal Steamit rules. On the other hand side, now you have said it's quite, or the application is functional already, and the iOS version is coming out any day now once Apple has approved. So this means that you already can post as well directly using the app, no? So it's just more or less 1 or 2 clicks.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you can just easily just download the app, keep it in your pocket, move around the office, go walk your dog, mow your lawn, go for a jog. I mean, do your shopping, your whatever you want to do, and just once you're done, pick up the phone, open the app, and then click post to Steamit, write a few sentences about your daily activity, what you did, and then just post it, and you're done. You're ready for your reward.
Yeah, perfect. This sounds really easy to use. Like I said, I already tried, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it was really easy to use. I used it while I was walking or hiking rather through a forest near of mine. So it was quite fine, and it was easy to use. The only thing that I thought about is maybe if I want to really use this on my main account, this is something for sure that everybody has to think about. If there is a vote trail following him for, I don't know, whatever reason, everybody needs to think about if this is if you really want to trigger this votes by having an ActiveIt report every day. But this is something that everybody needs to see for himself, and for sure you can.
And Jedi guys, I mean, from my perspective, we are trying to incentivize people to post daily. And they don't really have to. So, I mean, if you want to work out 3 days a week, 5 days a week, it's up to you. You want to get rewarded for this many days, it's up to you. And add to that, I mean, once you create the post via ActiveIt, if you want to adjust the content in any way, you can just go back to Steemit and edit the post, and you can just remove all the content and write it the way you want. I mean, some people just can we edit the post again and maybe put our own pictures or modify something, because it's just easier to do that from the laptop. We tell them definitely. I mean, just go ahead and pour your heart out into the post. And actually, people who write much better posts with higher and more valued content, we try to find those posts and reward them more than the others. So they might be eligible for a higher upvote from ActiveIt and a higher token reward from ActiveIt.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot for this clarification there. So since you have now a functional product and even rolling out to iOS in the near future, what are the plans now? What is the next steps that you're going to take with ActiveIt?
Yeah, well, so we're actually now looking into wearables. We want, I mean, we've had a lot of requests to see if we can integrate with Fitbit or other Samsung wearables or any other wearables that people can use instead of just holding the phone. So
oh yeah, that would be great. That would be super.
I'm actually reading the legal terms of Fitbit, and I don't always have the time to develop. I have to read. I have to do tons of stuff. So
yeah, to be legally correct is quite important, actually.
Definitely. And so far, I'm not sure. I mean, the legal terms don't look too promising from Fitbit, but we will read them thoroughly, and we'll try to see if we can communicate with Fitbit and see if they don't have a problem with us reading from their API. We just want to make sure we do this correctly. We don't want to face problems with any provider. I mean, these guys, I mean, they have their gadgets used everywhere, and they have their own legal terms. So we want to be on safe levels with them. But definitely that's something we really want to make happen. If it works, that would be fantastic from our perspective.
Oh yeah, that would be a really boost for the application and for the system of ActiveIt, because right now, yes, for sure you have to have the app running, and you have to, but integrating this into some of the wearables that a lot of people are actually using right now, this would be even more convenient for the users.
And just to give you some numbers, like yesterday, we just crossed 200 daily contributions or daily activity reports. So we've been actually growing. So we just crossed 2 months, and we crossed 200 contributions, which we actually rewarded. So our bot actually upvoted and sent out tokens to 202 people yesterday. So this is quite a big milestone, and we expect things to even grow much more than this once the iOS goes live.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and once we have the wearables, I think will be also more growth.
Yeah, that's cool. 202 already daily. Well, maybe not on every day, but at least yesterday. This is quite a massive amount of people already using ActiveIt. Since now we are having a date for when SMT is going to come live, are you already thinking of migrating the tokens, or are you just saying, I don't know, where is this token hosted now? Is it Waves or is it BitShares?
Yeah, actually, we started the tokens on the concept of we're gonna either have those as ERC20 tokens, and either once SMTs are ready to convert them. But until now, we're really hosting all the tokens, all the transactions are actually hosted on our servers. So we have servers which have database, and on which we are tracking every person's wallet count and transactions. So whenever people check their wallets, those are actually database entries. And it will be super easy for us to just migrate those into SMTs. And that is actually the perfect plan for us. So our initial concept was, if SMTs will launch quick enough, we just want to move all the tokens, all the wallets directly into SMTs. That would make our job really easier and less complicated and less troubling for everyone. And SMTs are still a long way. I guess there's like 7 months at least to go. But once we start with January, the testing, I think we can start by then testing out the move of the tokens.
Yeah, but if you have it all in a database, then it I don't know. This is quite an easy move. You just need to have the possibility to create wallets, you know, and with it,
Correct.
with certain amounts, and then you're set and good to go.
Exactly, and we've associated everything with Steemit accounts. So every Steemit user has his own same account on ActiveIt. So moving those as SMTs should be like quite easy, just mapping the names with the wallet information, and we're done.
Yeah, that's really cool. So next steps is wearables, yeah. And is there anything business related that you're now doing?
Well, actually, it's wearables. We also have, I mean, we're constantly updating our website. We just actually launched the capability to upvote ActiveIt posts from within the website. We're actually considering some changes a bit to how the reward mechanism and how the upvotes are happening, maybe rewarding people more from upvoting from the ActiveIt website. Associating something relevant to the tokens, but those are still under discussion. So nothing really changed yet on the whole process, but there could be some improvements happening there. We might also be considering doing a token sale, a pre-sale, not an ICO, soon. We're just also considering how and when to do that, maybe before the SMT. In preparation for that, just to get proper funding and to help us really grow the project. ICO, I don't know if we'll manage to do it before the SMTs or after the SMTs or via the SMTs. I mean, the SMTs, we're getting some information about them, but it's not still, it's beyond clear to know all the details.
Yeah, I agree. It's not super clear.
Yeah. I saw the link for the GitHub and I went there and I couldn't get all the details. I mean, okay, so it's good you guys are putting some plans, but those need some more documentation, more information, what's going to happen, how it's going to work. So we're looking forward for more clarity and how all of that works, because it really affects how we will progress, whether to wait for SMTs to do one thing or how we will manage to implement the functionality to function properly with SMTs live.
Yeah, for sure it will flesh out. You know, it will be more details when the time goes by. For now, I totally agree. There is not much to make out of the current status of details that there is for SMTs. So, well, but on the other hand side, like you have said prior to that, it will be quite easy for you because you do not need to convert anything. It's just you need to set up then the SMT structure you need to have, and then you're good to go.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at the new website. It's really looking cool. By the way, I'm always thinking about, since we need to, I don't know, put a generalistic view on this, and you know, and we know, and I know that we are on the Steem blockchain, always have to do with gaming, with cheating, with everything. How is ActiveIt's approach, or what are you currently thinking about doing against scam or cheating, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're constantly trying to improve our anti-abuse, and we actually posted several times through our announcements some policies that are against abuse. So first and foremost, I mean, we tried to minimize the abuse via minimizing the potential for ripping rewards. So first you can post only once per day. This is something that we want to make sure that people do not abuse, and anyone who tries to game the system can only maximum be rewarded once per day. be rewarded a maximum of 100 tokens for a maximum of 10,000 activity per day. So anyone who tries to game the system, he cannot get more than a top active hitter who really reaches a 10,000 activity level. Second, I mean the way we're doing security of the posting, we try to make it as secure as possible, and we continuously improve that so that people don't try to create posts and try to impersonate an active hit post. You know, we have those people who just try to create a post and make it look like an active hit, and they think they will get rewarded. No, you will not, because we have our own data.
Yeah, it's all kinds of scamming and gaming, which is not bad, by the way, because this is a lot of things to think about. Is attacking out of different vectors from different angles, so you can make it bulletproof. You know what I mean?
True, definitely. So we've actually banned a few users. I guess we have like a dozen people banned because of different types of abuse, and I mean, we constantly try to minimize the abuse. Like for people who just, I mean, we did set, for example, a minimum limitation for 30 words per post. So some people just type gibberish words and meaningless content, or just plagiarized content, and both of those are not acceptable by either Steemit standards or our own. So those people, if they don't respond, they get banned from using ActiveIt or getting rewarded. I mean, we really want people to be active and to really say a little bit about their activity. I mean, that's another way to look at, okay, so you did some activity, just tell us in few words what you did. And if you type a lot more, you'll get more rewarded. But just describe something and be transparent about what you did.
Yeah, sure. You cannot close the door completely, because this is always the same problem that you're having with security and such things. You cannot close the door too much, because then you will offend a lot of people that are really working out with ActiveIt, because, I don't know, they need to write 100 sentences, and you know what I mean. You cannot raise the standard too high. On the other hand side, you cannot lower it too much, because then you will open the door on the other hand side. So it's always a compromise of sorts.
Exactly, and I'm really helpful for our moderators that help me a lot in catching some of the abuses. Like I have Katarina Ram and Chioto and Cape Ready and many others. I mean, who's just too helpful with this. I mean, even the community comes to me and they report an abuse, and those who report will also get rewarded for if someone is really creating some awful case of an abuse. So yeah. And to be honest, Biggies, I mean, we really created this concept out of, we want people to benefit on two levels. I mean, I really want people to benefit health-wise and money-wise and reward, you know, the tokens. So if you guys want to abuse the system, and I mean, some people just tell me, hey, we can put this on our dog and on the dog and have it walk all around the house, and then we'll just post on it. Well, fine, you can do that. But if you don't realize that by you moving instead of the dog moving, you are benefiting your health, I mean, I'm sorry for you, because you're missing out on some really important aspect of you being healthy. And so yeah, I mean, we try to minimize the abuse as much as possible, but there are always places for gamification, and we will keep improving to minimize those as much as possible.
I was quite sure that you already have taken measures to get this abuse down to the level where you know it cannot be zero, but it can be close to. So I was quite sure. I want to just have the possibility to cover all of this. Of the surroundings of ActiveIt.
I'm really glad you highlighted this. No, definitely, I'm really happy.
Yeah. So, what can we hear next? You said iOS is about to launch. So most likely in the near future, we will have some announcement from ActiveIt or from you personally that the iOS version is launching. By the way,
it might happen before airing this episode. I don't know. I mean, with Apple.
Yeah, you never know. I agree.
We just want to get this out of the way. We waited so long for the account approval. We submitted the app, and now we're just waiting. And it might just happen now. I don't know, but we're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot for this nice interview that we have done. It was a pleasure, even though it had to be recorded. But even the recording was fine. We had a lot of fun. And we almost did it in one take, so there's not going to be an outtakes aired somewhere. Yeah, thanks a lot. Last question.
Thank you so much,
last question.
I'm really happy. It was amazing, and I really thank all the audience. And sorry I couldn't make it live, but yeah, a recording went out fantastic, I guess.
Yeah, it really did. One last question: Are you going to be back with a task request on Utopian for ActiveFit, or is this currently not in scope of things?
Of course it is. I mean, I've sent out several task requests via Utopian. You know, being a community manager, I'm all in support of Utopian, and Utopian has given us a lot of support as well. So yeah, we're doing task requests, we're doing contributions, we're doing everything. I mean, my iOS developer has been getting rewarded via Utopian, so it's really amazing. I mean, Utopian's vision and help has been really tremendous with helping with the ActiveFit growth as well.
Well, so thank you for helping Utopian to be what Utopian currently is. Without you and without some others, we would be in severe pain. But thanks a lot to you. And thanks a lot for this great project that you're bringing on Steam. And yeah, see you around, my dear.
All right. Well, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're back. I hope that I'm not missing one switch or lever. So if you can hear me now, everything's running cool. And I did push all buttons needed. Yeah, this was recorded yesterday with McFarhead directly, and sadly the iOS version still is not out, but as Victor Frankenstein has just said to me, and McFarhead has informed me in the afternoon of today, it's possible to test the iOS version in test flight mode, and I posted already a link with more details on how this test flight mode is working. I will post this once again. And yes, we had really fun yesterday. It was the first time for me recording this. I had a bit of trouble, but in the end, this was almost one take, so there were no cuts, no nothing. It was just recorded as we have talked, and yeah, it was really amazing how this worked out. And yes, this is the latest news from ActiveFit. So it's obviously possible that iOS can be tested or can be used in this test flight mode. Yeah, this is a great project. For sure, nobody can say where these ActiveFit tokens are going to be priced like, and this is not something that is, to me at least, of very much importance right now. I think the connection between working out and having a healthy life, and on the other hand side, getting rewarded with smart media tokens once they are available, is somehow a very a very good idea, basically, and a connection that makes sense to me at least. Yeah, thanks a lot, McFarhead, for having this interview yesterday. So, Ilana, famous last news. Is there something out that we have forgotten, that we have not yet talked about, that you definitely want to share, since we have 6 minutes to the end of the show?
Well, a couple of things.
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, the Brave open source browser has reached 10 million downloads, which is pretty cool. I know there's some people out there in our audience who are using it. Next up, MIT finally released Julia 1.0, which is a free and open source computer programming language, which I might actually look into because it sounds like something. It kind of it has the best of it claims to have the best of Ruby, MATLAB, C, Python, R, and others, but I don't know. It sounds like it's very promising, so I should definitely take a look and see if it makes any sense. Um, Next up, not everybody uses open source for good. There's a botnet called Mirai, and it's been doing the rounds again. Last time it was around was in 2016, and now it's doing the rounds again. And the interesting thing about it is it's actually using code from an open source project, Aboriginal Linux, using it to basically penetrate IoT devices. So it's using Internet of Things devices for botnet attacks and utilizing open source, which is essentially a good thing, to do bad stuff. And I think I have room for one more. It's another very interesting thing about open source is when big companies like Google or Microsoft or Facebook release services as open source, they often continue to maintain the infrastructure. But what happens when a project gets so huge, like Kubernetes, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, that it gets so big that pretty much everyone uses it, and running the infrastructure becomes really, really expensive and cumbersome. So Google's actually standing back from running the Kubernetes development structure and leaving it to the community, leaving it to the open source community to take care of. And it's going to provide the Cloud Native Computing Foundation with Google Cloud credits to help them keep it working as it goes off into the hands of the community. So that's all the news I've managed to fit in.
Thanks a lot. For sure, there is a lot of more out there because the open source world is currently moving very fast. On the other hand side, this is the most important information brought to you by our famous pink mother, first of her name of free and open source software. And whatever titles I forgot, I'm sorry, Ilana.
It's okay. I forgive you. You have it written down.
Yeah.
You're tired and you've been drinking.
Yeah, I have it written down, but I'm not reading it out. So this is the problem, maybe.
I think it was something like Queen of Feeds, Mother of News, something.
And for sure, first of her name or first of her thingy.
Definitely, and only. And only, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, and by the way, we are getting close to having our Italy session. I think it's 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh yeah. Prepare your liver.
I do. Where SteamStem and Utopian are meeting up in Italy, in the northern parts of Italy, to have a meetup. Personal and live meetup, and Ilana and me, we are going to do a show live from Italy. I think it's in, I don't know how many weeks, in 3 or 4 weeks. I will look it up and post it later. Next week on the show, I think I said it already and I forgot it again. Help me, Ilana. Who was next week on the show? I already said it. Forget it. Read my announcement. Because I cannot remember. I already said it in the show. You can listen to the recording or read my announcement. But for sure, I had a lot of fun today. Even and the recorded version with McFarland worked out fine. This was a perfect show for testing this. Thanks a lot for the audience. Amos, Crimson, Erku, Flugschwein, Kraylen, Hilo, Kantos, Knowledges, Cape Ready, Oops, Pensive, Poet, Prep Veteran, Ron, Raj, Tensor, and Marky Mark and Victor Frankenstein. Thanks a lot for you being around and for all the others listening on DLive and Twitch. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun. And I hope it was informative for you as well. And you had a bit of fun as well. See you next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. UTC, when it's time for the Utopian Open Source Radio Show. Thanks a lot, Ilana, and thanks a lot, Bucky, for having prepared everything, but sadly he could not be around this time. We miss our producer. So, Bucky, if you hear this, please come back. Bye bye. See you all.